Johnny Murray here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today, we're going to talk about Pokemon Legends ZA. I know it's Z through A, but I call it ZA because that's what it looks like, okay? We're going to go with that. Pokemon Legends Z through A. Look, definitely a roller coaster of a game in terms of how I felt about it, in terms of my expectations, in terms of my excitement. We're going to break it all down, but we did get a new trailer at the Nintendo Direct on March 27th, 2025. 1 week before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. So take that. Hey, well, it's still really weird. But yeah, we did get a new trailer and we got some crazy information that we are going to break down and talk about. And this is actually the first video talking about Pokemon Legends Z through A on the channel. We talked about it on podcasts probably a couple times already, but we never actually made a video. So here we are. We're going to talk about it. But if you guys love video games, consider subscribing, share with your friends. We cover video games daily on this channel. Doesn't matter what you love. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, third-party, PC, VR, indie, whatever it may be. We love video games here. I'm trying to share that with everybody. So thank you all for support, especially the support in this video right here. But let's get talking about Pokemon Legends Z through A, one of my favorite franchises of all time. Let me tell you guys, this Direct as a whole was just so up my alley. I get it. It probably wasn't for a lot of people because there was no major announcements and we were lacking a lot of release dates. But in terms of the game showed, bro, this was this was straight up my alley. Like, I loved it. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite directs. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. It just made me feel so good. It made me so excited for so many things. And one of the reasons being is this trailer, this game right here. Now, we're gonna break down, but let me go through a little history lesson. I think Legends Arceus is good. Just good. Maybe not even good. I think it might just be okay. I didn't really love it, but I really liked what it was going for, and I liked a lot of parts about it. Now, I really liked Scarlet and Violet because, yes, the game ran like dog water, and there were so many issues, but it was such a good game at its core. I love a lot of things about it. So, I've kind of been waiting for the next Pokemon game in a way of, can they just improve on what both games did and make that game, you know? And they announced Pokemon Legends Z through A. And when they announced it, I was really excited because Gen 6 is one of my more liked gens with the Megas, with the Kalos region, and with the starters. So I was like, yo, we're going back to Gen 6. This is going to be really, really cool. And the trailer was really, really neat. And they announced that this was coming out like in a couple years. And I was like, okay, so they're like actually cooking with this one. This has been the longest gap between Pokemon games, mainline Pokemon games. There has never been a longer period between Pokemon releases than there is right now for Scarlet and Violet and Legends Z through A, which I think is crazy, but it just goes to show you they've just been cooking on this game. But then we get to the first official trailer for the game at the Pokemon Presents earlier this year. And it was a trailer. I feel like it was underwhelming for a lot of people because, let's face it, visually, Game Freak is just not there. They just don't know how to make a good looking game, apparently. The visuals still look pretty bad, really bad actually, and I feel like unfortunately that is going to be this game's biggest issue, is the game still just looks and is probably going to run like crap. I'm hoping for the best, but I gotta go off what I'm seeing, and what I see is exactly that. It doesn't really look good, and there's probably going to be performance issues. But once again, they have delivered on what I think this game is actually going to be. Now, when I first saw the initial trailer, I was a little bit concerned with the game, with the combat, or with the battle system, because you're being able to move freely around, right? You're being able to run left, and your Pokemon will follow you, and that's how you dodge in a way, which I feel like that could be really janky or just really just kind of tedious or really specific, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then as well as there's specific zones within the game where you can go catch wild Pokemon. And I was like, okay, so you can only go to these wild spots to catch Pokemon? I feel like that kind of deletes the whole purpose of an open world Pokemon game, right? So I had my concerns, but overall, I was liking the concept. I was liking the other combat stuff I was seeing, right? I like some of the things, and at the end of the day, I love Pokemon, and just the formula of Pokemon just is timeless for me. Like, I could just, I never get tired of Pokemon. And so I'm still excited for the game, but I definitely have my worry and I had my concerns. But here we are. At the time of recording this, yesterday was that Nintendo Direct, and they showed another 3-minute trailer for Pokemon Legends Z through A. And let me tell you, this was the moment it clicked. It clicked. Not only do I think the things that they showed in this trailer looked better than in that first trailer, but this trailer actually conveyed what the heck this game is. And let me tell you, I am completely on board. I am completely on board. With the one caveat being, I still think it's going to run and look like crap. All right? But when I tell you, the gameplay things that they talked about in this trailer got me hyped. First off, they confirmed that the wild zones are not the only places you're able to find Pokemon. You are able to find Pokemon just around the city as well. They also confirmed that Luminos City in its entirety is the open world map. And that is awesome. Luminos City, is it Luminos or Lumios? I think Lumios. Lumios City is one of the coolest cities in all of Pokemon and is one of the best locations in Pokemon. And there is so much to do there. And there's so many different areas within Luminos. Why do I keep on saying Luminos? Lumios City that I'm really excited to explore, and I'm really glad. I'm personally very happy they're not going out of the city, where there's hills and stuff, because to be honest, with this game's visuals, it's just gonna feel like more hills and more whatever, kind of like Arceus. The world just felt really, really bland. Nah, let's stick to Lumiose City, which has tons of personality, tons of things to look at, tons of things to do, and I really, really like that. Second off, the combat, I'm still worried about the movement. I'm not gonna lie. But it looks really cool with your with all the UI. I think the UI looks really great. I think it looks clean. I think it looks simple. I think it looks straightforward. I think the animations that the Pokemon are doing for their attacks look really neat. And I do like what I'm seeing of the combat outside of that movement. I'm still a little bit questionable about that. But yeah, so it answered that wild Pokemon zone question. Okay, so you can't. Those wild zones aren't the only place you can go catch Pokemon. You could just find them around the city. And they're even going as far as saying you can climb rooftops and you can jump across streets and you can go in sewers and go to all these different places to find these Pokemon who are hidden. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see what we're doing now. Not only is this just a Pokemon game, but this is tons of exploration. This is tons of puzzle solving. And then it hit. Not only is it an open world Pokemon catching game, but this is a Pokemon battle game too. Because what they explained is during the day is when you catch Pokemon. And at night, all heck breaks loose. Trainers come out and trainers want to battle. They want to fight. And they want to win. And this is the moment it clicked. The whole game is about rising through the ranks and becoming rank A. You start at Z and you have to reach rank A. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the biggest issue of Arceus. You were just catching Pokemon to catch Pokemon. There were no gyms, there was no ranking, there was barely battling. It was just, hey, let's fill out the Pokédex. Cool. Now there's actually a goal here. There's actually a premise and there's actual battling. On top of that, the exploration's cool. The location is cool. The gameplay looks interesting. I think they're cooking here. When I saw that trailer, when it turned nighttime and they explained that, I was like, okay, they might actually know what they're doing here. I think I may actually have faith here. And boy, did I get excited because this is kind of looking like the Pokemon game I want. This looks like Scarlet and Violet, but with Pokemon Legends Arceus in Gen 6. Now, there's still no gyms confirmed. We don't know if there will be or will not be, but I am really, really excited for this. I think another issue I have personally is the starters in the game. I personally just find the starter selection kind of underwhelming. I'm not a big fan of Tepig or Chikorita. I am a big fan of Totodile, so he's obviously who I'm going to be choosing. But I don't know. It was kind of weird having 2 Gen 2 starters. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But no. I think there's a lot to like about this game. I think there is still a really good amount to be concerned about and questionable about. So I'm not just going to go and say, oh, yeah, this is the one. This is the Pokemon game where they're going to get it right. Yep, I guarantee this is going to be a banger. No, I'm not saying that at all. This could very well easily be another Arceus or Scarlet and Violet moment. And granted, I know a lot of people love Arceus. And I can understand, even though I personally do not love it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I actually really enjoyed Scarlet and Violet for what it was outside of its issues. And so I'm at least hoping for something like that, right? But what I will say is I don't know how this game is going to release. I don't know if this game is going to release on the Switch 2. I don't know if it's going to just release on the Switch 1. I don't know when it's going to come out. They said late 2025, so who knows? All I know is I'm worried about the visuals and the performance of the game, but I'm super duper excited for the gameplay. And to be honest, that's what I want out of Pokemon, so I am all on board, and I am ready for Legends Z through A. Thank you for this trailer, Nintendo, because this was the trailer we needed. This was a trailer to do it all. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Pokemon Legends Z through A? I'd love to know. I'd love to talk with you. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.